All right, let's just jump right in. Today we're going to talk about an idea that on the surface sounds, well, pretty harsh, maybe even a little cynical. But you got to stick with me here, because this might just be one of the most powerful, most freeing mindsets you can ever adopt.
You've probably seen this quote floating around. And yeah, a lot of people think it's from the legendary Mark Twain. It's actually from a guy named Robert J. Burdett, but you can see why people make that mistake, right? It's got that blunt, no-nonsense, reality check feel. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong?
And that's really the big question for today. What if this isn't about being negative? What if accepting that the world owes you absolutely nothing is the secret formula for freedom, for actually getting things done? What if this is the key to unlocking your real potential?
To really get why this mindset is so potent, we have to start by getting real about how the world actually works. And honestly, who better to be our guide through the beautiful, frustrating mess of it all than Mark Twain himself?
You gotta love Twain. He had this incredible knack for pointing out that, our systems and institutions, they're not always the logical, fair and square places we want them to be. So if you're out there waiting for some perfect system to notice you and reward you, well, you're gonna be waiting a very, very long time.
And it's not just the big institutions. According to Twain, even the will of the people, what we call public opinion, is usually driven more by gut feelings and emotion than by cold hard logic. It's a powerful force, for sure, but it isn't always a rational one, and it certainly doesn't owe your brilliant idea a fair shake.
So here's the bottom line. The world, by its very nature, is resistant to change. It's just how we're wired. People get attached to old ideas. Systems are built to keep things stable, not to shake them up. This isn't some new problem of the modern age. It's a basic part of the human condition that Twain saw with perfect clarity more than 100 years ago.
And what Twain saw back then is just as true today, especially when you look at the modern workplace. I mean, if you've ever tried to push a new idea in a big company, you have definitely run headfirst into the exact same resistance he was talking about. This is what we call the innovator's dilemma.
The writer Mark Jacobson has a great name for people who do this: intrapreneurs. You know who I'm talking about. It's that engineer who won't shut up about a more efficient process, or the manager who's pushing for a totally new kind of marketing campaign. They're the ones who see a better way and are willing to fight for it, even when there's nothing in it for them personally. They are the absolute lifeblood of any company that wants to grow. Which, of course, leads to the million-dollar question. If you're one of these people, you have felt this in your soul. You're sitting there thinking, wait a second, I'm trying to do exactly what this company should want me to do. So why does it always feel like you're fighting an uphill battle against the very system you're trying to help? Well, the thing is, the reasons are usually systemic, not personal. Jacobson points out that most companies are just built for stability, not for big, scary changes. And resources, they're always tight. Your amazing project is competing with a dozen other amazing projects for the same pot of money. Plus, let's be real, it's almost impossible for leaders to know ahead of time which idea is the next big thing and which is a flop. And sometimes the whole system is just kind of broken. So it's probably not that your boss hates you, it's that the system itself is working against you. Okay, so understanding that is step one. But the next step, this is where everything changes. It's a total mental shift. It's about taking that frustrating reality and turning it into your greatest source of power. It's about finding total freedom by expecting absolutely nothing.
This right here, this is the big reframe. You have to start from zero. Just assume nobody owes you their support, their budget, or even 5 minutes of their time. Your idea is just a whisper in a hurricane of noise. The responsibility to make it happen, well, that falls 100% on you.
And you can see the difference so clearly here. On the left, that world owes me mindset, it's a direct path to disappointment, anger, and just wasting energy. But look at the right. When you expect nothing, you gain everything. You put all your energy into the things you can actually control, you take full responsibility, and this part is so important. Any little bit of help you do get feels like an incredible gift. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Because adopting this mindset isn't just some nice philosophical idea. It has real, tangible benefits that can completely change the way you work and live. So first off, it keeps your ego in check, which is huge. Second, it gives you a massive sense of agency. You start focusing on what you can do, not what you can't. Third, it completely flips your emotions. You go from feeling resentful to feeling grateful and optimistic. And that, in turn, helps you see opportunities you were blind to before. And finally, all that positive energy makes your relationships better, which makes people want to help you out.
This quote from Jacobson just nails that third point. Seriously, just imagine it. Imagine shifting from being constantly annoyed about the support you didn't get to being genuinely, deeply thankful for the small bit of help you did. That change in attitude is a total game changer.
So here's the bottom line. This mindset doesn't magically fix a broken system or give you a bigger budget. Your situation on the outside might look exactly the same, but it changes you on the inside. It turns you from someone who feels like a victim of their circumstances into someone who is an agent of change, always looking for a crack in the wall, always searching for a way forward.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. If you stop waiting around for the world to give you what you think you deserve, and instead you see it as a completely blank canvas, what are you going to build? The power and the responsibility is all yours.